عودة على بدء أعزائي المشاهدين، مرحبا بكم مرة أخرى. أستاذ نبيه، كيف بيشوفون العالم؟ يعني how they perceive us like as Arab American and Middle East community here?
Well, I'm an attorney by trade, and we have a lot of trials. And one of the biggest things that I try to weed out on my jury selection is whether they have biased sentiments towards Middle Easterners. And it's hard. Some of them, they'll say, no, I don't have. But you dive in deeper and you find out where the person works, you find out what he does, you see if he has any contacts with people overseas or the military or something, and it finds out that person is harboring certain biases. They can't, it's natural to harbor certain biases against certain people. Especially when they see, for instance, beheadings, okay, for instance, of the one journalist the other day. I mean, this affects people. It affects people. People, it's more easier for them just to think in black and white. And those people are bad, these people are good. People like to think like that naturally. And unfortunately, we become victims. We're susceptible to that. We're vulnerable to that. And what happens is, yes, we are not popular these days. Middle Easterners are not popular. And I like to say, on the scale, okay, African Americans are here, Hispanic Americans are here, Arab Americans are here, Muslim Americans are right here. We're at the very low bottom in popularity, and statistically it shows that. So yeah, we have a lot of work to do, and this is why our organization is fighting those certain stereotypes and fighting to protect and advocate against these biases that are out there, because they are out there. And the war in the Middle East, the hate that's out there, does not help the situation. People are affected by seeing the beheadings, by in the name of Allah they're doing this, God forbid, you know what I'm saying, which is absolutely, as you know, fundamentally wrong, and they're doing this, and it hurts, and it's even dividing some of the communities here. It's totally outrageous what they're doing over there, and they're using the name of God in the midst of all this.
As we mentioned, this is really disturbing. I mean, we are like the bottom of this scale. Talking again about the media, like the national media, what's the role national media make our picture doesn't look good?
Right.
Is this any role for the media? في دور للإعلام يعني?
I'm a strong believer that the media plays a vital importance, especially in the democratic society. The media, I feel, has a duty, an absolute duty, to protect and tell the story of the less fortunate and the more vulnerable. Today, Arab America is all that vulnerable. We've come a crossroads in the history of this nation. Today, we are that crossroads. We are the civil rights cross. We are the canaries, as they say, in the minefields now. The Arab Americans are, the Muslim Americans are. So we have those challenges that the Irish and the Jewish and the African Americans all had to go, and the Asians had to go through many years ago. And some of them are still going through that. But this is our challenges now. So absolutely, the media has an absolute role to tell our story, to give a voice to the voiceless. I think they do that a lot on a local level, and that's, I think, because we have such large numbers here with the Arabic Chaldean community. On a national level, I don't think they're doing such a great job. I think they can do much more better job than they are doing currently on a national level.
I want to ask you a question. As a citizen, كمواطن من الجالية الموجودة هون, do I have anything? Do I have any role in this? Can I do anything? What I should do?
Absolutely. The one thing about this great country is the citizen does have rights. There's a Bill of Rights, and you have a voice, and you have a voice by voting. The number one thing is to vote. And the number two thing is you can write your congressional people, you can write your Senate, you can write your media, you can let your voice be heard. Individually, God knows how far you would get, but when you have another individual like yourself, and another individual, and another individual, all that stuff adds up. Eventually they will listen. Eventually they will take that into consideration, and then you will be a force to be reckoned with down the road as to that. Absolutely. And I think you can voice those things. You can go to your meetings, you can go to the city council, you can go to the public hearings and things of that nature and voice your thing. Write to your congressman, write to your senators, tell them how you feel about the situation. Call your congressman, call your senator, say, we are being discriminated against, our bank accounts are being closed, we're not allowed to fly, what are you doing about it? Ask for congressional hearings. That's what we've been doing. We've sent letters to the head of the Dianne Feinstein, the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee. We've sent to Patrick Leahy, the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee. We've sent to the head of Dobbs, the head of the Judiciary Committee. We've sent to our congressmen, to our senators, saying we need hearings on both, on the banking issues, and we need hearings on the no-fly list. This is affecting our community. you know, we need you to address this.
So you are fighting.
We are fighting, yes. And, you know, justice is not easy. Justice is not given, justice is taken. You know this. We have to fight for it.
And you are a fighter.
Right.
Okay,
right.
and as I called you, Arab,
Yes.
al-Adala. Talking about fighting,
Right.
really, we are very proud of you.
Thank you.
And as you know, a fighter, you know, for justice. And please don't give up.
It's hard, but we will not give up.
I know it's challenges.
We
really,
will give up when we die. That's the only time we will give up.
Challenges are like, you know, very and تحديات كبيرة. But as they say, like any change in the world, you know, just designed by people who are geniuses, which we are one of them.
Thank you.
And implemented by motivated, which you are one of them. So يعني
we do our best. You know, if we're not going to do it, who's going to do it?
So يعني نتمنى لك التوفيق و please keep fighting and we're behind you.
Thank you. God bless you.
So inshallah, you know, one day we will really move from this bottom line, and you know,
we are working. We will. We will get past this.
Yeah.
We will get past. It's going to take some time, but we will get past.
I you know, I talk to you and I hear something like I know we will.
We will get past.
أعزائي المشاهدين، يعني وقت مضى بسرعة سريع مع الأستاذ نبيه، بس يعني دائما هكذا الأوقات السريعة تمضي بسرعة. فجزيل الشكر لك، ألف شكر لك على هذا. وزي ما حكى الأخ نبيه الأستاذ نبيه، fight for your civil rights. Don't give up. I mean, don't just watch. You know, الواحد منا لازم يتحرك، يعمل. أرقام تلفون المؤسسة راح تكون موجودة. في عندهم ساعات بقدموا فيها كمان خدمات مجانية في مواضيع له علاقة بالحقوق المدنية. يجب أن نكون جميعا مع بعضنا في مواجهة هذه الآفة. وعلى رأي المجتمع وعلى رأي الشاعر، تأبى العصي إذا تجمعنا تكسرا، وتكسرت إذا تفرقت أحدا. Together we can do it. تصبحون على خير.